Hey everybody, it's Jessica from the Furry Family Coach and also CuriousKitty.com, where I provide you American-made pet supplies for your pets. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about homemade cat food. I'm actually going to show you what I'm putting in my homemade cat food recipe that I'm making today, and I just wanted to go over really quickly the difference in making homemade cat food and homemade dog food. Cats cannot survive on the same food that dogs can. If you try to feed your cat a diet from a recipe you find online that's homemade dog food, your cat is going to be missing out on some vital nutrients, some of which they actually need to live. So these aren't things that you can find in just regular supplements off the shelf that maybe you can fill in the gaps. It really is incredibly important up front in the recipes that you make for your cats. You're providing them with all the nutrients that they need to sustain life, and regular dog food recipes just won't cut it for your cats. So I'm making a very small batch today. I wanted to share with you exactly what I'm putting in my cat food recipe and how I am providing the nutrients to my cats that they need to sustain life. So what I have here, I'm going to show you. I'm starting out, again, I'm making a small batch. So if you just have 1 or 2 cats, this is going to be a pretty good batch for you to start out. I've got about a pound of chicken thigh meat that I've cut up, and about 1/4 pound of chicken liver. You can use other organ meats as well that you can find, gizzards and hearts. I just happened to pick liver today, and I like to actually rotate those. If you want to put all 3 of them in your cat food or even your dog food, you're welcome to do that, but you need about 10 to 20% of the meat that you put in your pet food needs to be organ meat. So today I'm using thighs and livers. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in my crock pot. And cats are carnivores, and we know that they're carnivores. So the only way that they're going to get in the wild, the only way they're going to get fruits, vegetables, and grains is by eating the stomach contents of their prey. So when we're making homemade cat food, we're not going to put in a whole lot of fruits and vegetables and grains because they don't get a whole lot of it in the wild. Again, they're only getting it, they're not naturally eating fruits and vegetables. They're not scavengers, they're not finding fruits and vegetables and grains for their regular diet in the wild. They're only getting it through the stomach contents of their prey. So I'm just adding a very small amount. I've got peas, carrots, and a few blueberries that I'm going to add in to my crock pot. And again, you can choose to add grain to your cat's diet or choose not to add grain to your cat's diet. A little bit of grain is going to provide them the carbohydrates they need to continue the whatever activity that they have during the day, whatever energy they need just to perform their activities throughout the day. Thank you. They're going to need just a little bit of carbohydrates, and this is a live video, so you guys, anything could happen. Thank you. Gracie decided to bark at me. So I have a very, very small amount of pasta that I'm gonna also add into my crock pot. You can use pastas, you can use a little bit of rice if you want to. We're just going to try to add in a little bit of carbohydrate, and this is also going to help bind, because when we're done with the crock pot, I'm going to talk to you about this in just a minute, I'm not just going to feed this to them like I would my dogs. My dogs like a hearty stew. They like to be able to bite and chew on things. My cats don't. So I'm going to add just a little bit of pasta to my crock pot. Now that I have that in here, I'm going to add a little bit of water. It's very important to add water to your cat's diet because cats are notorious for not getting enough water in a day. And excuse me for reaching, I'm going to grab a spoon out of my drawer here. Cats are notorious for not getting enough water, which is one reason why I recommend using water fountains instead of just stagnant water bowls for your cats. It's going to attract them to drink more water, but putting food in their water is also very important. It's going to help them to get that water intake that they need in their day. So now that I've got everything in my crock pot, I'm just going to stir it up a little bit, even it out, make sure I don't have any big humps of meat in here, so I can close the lid and start cooking. I'm just going to cook this enough to where all of the meat is tender and kind of, you know, like falling apart. And then once it's done, I'll come back on Facebook Live and show you what I'm going to do with it. But I want to talk to you about bridging that nutrient gap for your cats. I recommend for people starting out, even with your dogs, I recommend using a vitamin supplement for homemade diets for your dogs, but all of the time I recommend using a vitamin supplement in your homemade food for your cats, because there are vital nutrients that your cat needs that you're just not going to be able to provide them in your homemade diet without a vitamin supplement. And this is one that I like, and I'll put a link underneath of this video so you can check it out too. It's the missing link, the Ultimate Feline Health Formula, and this is going to be really great to add into our cat food once we have it cooked. So for right now, I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to go ahead and cook this food for my cats, and once it's done, I'll jump back on Facebook Live and show you exactly what I'm going to do with it, because I'm going to kind of blend it into a consistency that's more aligned with the pate that your cat may be getting out of a wet food right now, so that we're not trying to give them a new cat food, a new flavor and a new food, and also give them a new texture. We want to kind of keep these things texturally in line with what they're already eating, so that hopefully we won't have too much of an issue giving them a new food. And it really is, that there's a reason why cat foods come in a pate formula to begin with. It's very palatable for your cat. So for right now, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to put a link underneath of this video so you can check out the missing link vitamin supplement that we're going to put in the cat food. And for now, I will see you guys later. Welcome back. I came on Facebook Live earlier because I started a crockpot recipe on how to make homemade cat food, and this is just one of many recipes. It's kind of a get started recipe, meaning like if you've never made cat food before, this is a really good one to try out because it has just a few ingredients, mainly meats, because cats are of course carnivores. So this is just a continuation of the live video that I started earlier. Now that I've combined all of the ingredients, put them in the crock pot, I let it cook for a couple of hours. It was a small batch, so it didn't need to cook for very long. And after it finished cooking, I went ahead and added the Ultimate Feline Health Formula, which is the vitamin additive that I was talking to you about in the first video. And there are feeding directions on the back, so depending on the size of the batch you make, you'll know how much to add. So I went ahead and I added this to the crock pot. I mixed it all up, and then because I want to make this into a texture that my cats will eat instead of the like stew like feed that my dogs really like to eat, I just took my little handheld blender, which is like this, my handheld blender, and I mixed up all of the ingredients inside of my crock pot. I really like to do as much as I can in one container because I don't like to clean a bunch of dishes, so if I can do it inside of my crock pot, then that's where I'm going to do it. Now that I've blended everything, it's still a little warm, so as I let this cool, this will the texture will change just a little bit, but as you can see, I'm going to put a little bit in this glass container so you can see. It's like a pate texture, like the canned food you'd buy at the store, because I know that this is a texture that my cats like. So as you can see, this is a pate texture, and the steam is still coming off of it because it's still pretty hot. But I mean, it even looks like the food you would get at the store, if you can see that. as it cools down, it'll become a little more, the consistency will change a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these in containers. I'm going to put about 2 days worth in the refrigerator, and the rest I'm going to freeze. This comes especially handy when you make large batches. It is okay to freeze this. So that is how I'm making my homemade pet food today, my homemade cat food, as my spoon falls into my crock pot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live video. If you have any questions, please post them underneath this video. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Don't forget to like my page, The Furry Family Coach, and follow my page so you get notifications when I go live. Please share this if you have anybody, any friends or family who are on Facebook who you feel could benefit from this video, learning how to make your own homemade cat food. Please share it with them, and of course comment again if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next video.